My name is Jon Watts and I am a chef.
Here's how to make this creamy bacon and mushroom pasta.
I've been lucky to have the most incredible career. Now in a good place in my life, but things could have been so different. I grew up near Oxford and, it was only a small town. When I left school, I didn't do a lot. I had a few jobs, but nothing that made me feel satisfied with life. I just fell into the wrong crowd. I got sucked into this world where violence was the norm and people that I knew were taking drugs or dealing drugs and finding those quick ways to make money. And that was how they knew how to survive. At 18 years old, I'd had a few drinks. My friend was in a fight, which I became involved in as well, and a knife was used. And, I'm incredibly ashamed of it now. I find it uncomfortable to talk about. I feel so much remorse for what I did. As soon as it happened, I felt like my life was over. The victim, he made a full recovery, and I was sentenced to 6.5 years in prison. Prison for the first night was awful. It was absolutely freezing. And then the noises, the banging of the doors, the keys jingling along in the steps, the shouting of inmates to each other. It's a lot to get used to. It's quite intense. In that time, I realised that something had to change and this wasn't the life that I wanted to lead. I heard about the Duke of Edinburgh's Awards, and that was something where you have to pick a skill section, and it was then that I started cooking. It wasn't a passion. It wasn't a part of my upbringing, but it became something that I could do. I could start fresh with a skill. I got a job in the officers' mess eventually, which is where it's like a canteen for the staff of the prison, and you can actually cook. I'd learn how to dice an onion, how to make a bechamel sauce, little things like that. I was able to work towards an MVQ in professional cookery. I did get a bronze Duke of Edinburgh's award, but I went further than that and I ended up, being able to go all the way to gold. I went to St. James's Palace and was awarded the Gold Duke of Edinburgh's award. And I felt on top of the world. I felt like I'd achieved something. I felt like I'd made my family proud, which is what I wanted to set out to do. Later down the line, I found myself on a resettlement unit at Reading Prison. So there's about 20 young offenders who could go out and work. And eventually, I got a job at one of Jamie Oliver's restaurants. It was an adrenaline-fueled environment, which for a young lad with lots of energy who's been locked up, it's like the best thing. And I remember I saw loads of these fresh herbs stacked up, and I'd never seen fresh herbs. And I opened one tab and it's basil, and then mint, parsley, rosemary, thyme. And I was amazed at all these different smells and flavors. And then learning how to use each one and what they will go with, I just fell in love with it. Prison is lonely, but you have friends. You're around the same people every day. And once I was released, all I had was working. And I just threw myself at it. If anyone was offering shifts, I would just take them on. Didn't have a social life. That restaurant and the people in it became my family. And I worked for Jamie Oliver's restaurants for about 5 years. I'd grown as a person, my self-esteem, my confidence. I knew how to work with people. I'd grown empathy, and you realise how important that is. My career has gone from strength to strength. My second cookbook has come out. I'm cooking on television. So I'm making bang bang salmon with sesame roasted broccoli, which you're going to get on with now. Being able to share my passion with so many more people. And social media is a big part of my work as well. And my followings are growing every day. Cooking over the last decade and more has just become the most incredible thing to me. To be at rock bottom in that place, for everyone to write you off, To then find yourself in this environment and to grow this passion for cooking, and then to be able to share that with other people is just the most incredible feeling that I can't explain. I am quite literally living the dream.